Hi everyone, this is going to be an unboxing slash review video of the Gold Tone Bluegrass Heart Banjo, the OB Béla, as you can see there. This is the Béla Fleck banjo that Béla collaborated with Gold Tone to create, and it's basically it is basically made to Béla Fleck's specifications that he has on his pre-war Gibson Mastertone banjo. It's got, about as close as you can get to the specifications for, his specific neck that he has and his bridge height and those kinds of things. So that's what this is. I've been looking forward to this banjo ever since Gold Tone announced it. Now, this video review is actually coming pretty late. I have owned this banjo now for several months. I'm actually kind of finishing making this video in late 2022, but I actually received this banjo, and that's this unboxing video that you see here I think it was around May of 2022, and this is among the first round of this banjo that were made. So I pre-ordered it, and Gold Tone sent it to me eventually after they were able to get it in stock and get it set up and all that good stuff. So there were several delays in their process. I know they were trying to get them out in late 2021, December or so, and they weren't able to do so. It eventually made its way to me in late spring of 2022. So that's what this is. This is the unboxing of that, and I just showed you kind of the box, and this is how they shipped it, and it's pretty good quality. You can also see that I got a bag of accessories along with just the banjo itself, so I ordered some extra things along with the banjo, so I'll show you what those are. So I got some extra strings in there. I've got the Béla Fleck heart tuner there, and then I've got just some extra things. So I'll open up this little bag here and show you what's in it. So you can see right on the top, we've got this banjo head, this black head. So I asked them to install the standard white head on the banjo itself, but I kind of wanted to have the option to switch over to that black head if I felt like it. So I just ordered a second one of those. But here's a look at the Fleck Tune tuner first of all. Extra set of the strings that Béla uses with his specifics of the strings. So those are a couple extra sets of those. And these are GHS strings, as you can see there. So a couple packs of those. Then I've got that black banjo head inside this little baggie here. And then I also picked up a few extra spikes and then a 5th string tuning peg there. And the reason why I got that extra tuning peg is because I wanted to put Keith tuners on this banjo at some point, and I wanted it to kind of match with those if I decided to put those on, and then some extra spikes if I decided to add more. But I had 4 of them installed already, which is probably enough, but just in case, I thought I'd get some extra spikes. There's a quick look at the head, and now let's actually open up the banjo. So they packed it pretty well, in my opinion. Nice wrapping all around. So we'll first take a look at the case. And I do have the background of this video muted just because when I was making this, I had a lot of background noise going on that I didn't want to have included in this. So at least this segment of the video, the unboxing part, there's no background noise, but that won't be the case for the whole video. But here's just unboxing the case itself. It's a very nice case overall. It does get, now that I've owned it for a little while, it does get, scratched up and dinged pretty easy. So it looked really nice right out of the box, just all fresh and white and everything. Now it's full of a lot of scratches and imperfections, but a case is a case. That's what it's for. It's for protecting the banjo. So, but yeah, just a really nice case overall. It's really good quality, very durable, and it's got a lot of whatever you call it, straps to keep the thing closed. And it also has these things that I'm flipping back and forth there, which are actually for backpack straps that it has included, which is pretty cool. But here's a look at how they pack the banjo inside. It's very well packed, nice, nicely covered there for shipping. And yeah, so that looks good. And then we'll open it up here very slowly. And again, you can see here that they did wrap it very nicely. My first impression of this, getting it out of the box, was the headstock looked a little bit brighter in color, or compared to what was advertised in the pictures. I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means, but it's definitely a brighter color compared to the fingerboard, it wasn't how the stock photos looked, but you know, it doesn't look bad or anything. It's just something a little bit different than what I was expecting, I guess. But here's a look at the banjo, and it's pretty. There it is. So, and again, here's the look from top to bottom. And you can see I got the red tuners there, the Ricard tuners that are those heavier weighted keys, just for adding a little extra weight, because that's how Béla has it with his Keith tuners. They're just heavier than, you know, most regular tuners, which adds a little bit to the tone of the banjo. It also comes with this little thank you for purchasing the banjo, and then checklist of the specifications for setup from the shop, which is kind of a nice little added bonus there. And it's got the Wayne Rogers signature on the bottom and the date that it was, I think, finished up and shipped there. So like I said, I got this at the tail end of April or early May of 2022. So you can see the bridge there. And then I didn't have a super great lighting situation for this video, so I got myself in a better lighting situation a little bit for the rest of this. And I'm also not going to be talking doing a voiceover type of thing. I'll actually be talking live as I did the video. So that's what you'll see in the next segments and for the rest of the video. All right, folks, so I got myself in a little bit better of a lighting situation here so I can kind of show you some more close-ups of the banjo. And I originally did this in a place that really wasn't super suitable for filming, just because I was too excited to open this thing up. But now I'm in a little bit better of a place so I can show you some close-ups here. Now, there have been some very slight modifications to this design compared to what it originally was, compared to the stock images when I first ordered this banjo. And I'll just explain what those are. They're very, very minor. The first is the armrest here, which is a little bit of a different style. I'll see if I can post a picture in the video here of what the original stock image looked like. It looked more like the kind of a red style armrest, and this one is black, and it looks pretty good and it feels very nice. The other change is that the headstock is not kind of a black matching with the neck here, or the fingerboard, I should say. It's more of a kind of a lighter tone that matches the underside of the wood, the rest of the wood, which is it's a little bit different. It doesn't really have the same vibe as the you know, I guess a Gibson banjo, say, but it kind of makes it look a little bit more unique on its own, and that's kind of a good thing too, because we have the heart inlay here and everything with this flying eagle modified thing going on here, which it just makes it look like its own unique thing a little bit. So I think it looks good overall, and I'll just give you a kind of a slow look at the headstock here. I really like the way the heart looks there. It just looks very pretty, and really the rest of the inlays here as well, very nice. One small little flaw I noticed here with the truss rod cover here is this screw is slightly off to the right, and there's some other little minor things here, so I may try to get a replacement for one of those eventually. I'm being very, very nitpicky with that, but maybe you can see that the screw there is just slightly askew to the right, but incredibly minor thing. And yeah, I'm just being very picky there. But as we go to the fingerboard here and along the neck, we've got the Zero Glide nut here, right here, which is Gold Tone's specialty. We've got the jumbo-sized frets, really cool. And the thing that surprised me with this is just taking a look at the actual radius of, you know, the radiused frets that this banjo has. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more radiused than it actually is. It's really not, you know, at least to me, it just feels like a very kind of a slight radius, but that's, you know, I guess that's just my perception of it. I don't know. So, but once I get this thing in my hands and kind of show you guys, it's really, really comfortable to play this banjo. So it's really awesome. So let's see, I guess I'll show you some of the tuning pegs too. These are Ricard tuners. I'm not sure if the 5th string tuner is Ricard or not, but the 4 back here for sure are, but they probably all are. And they've got these really fancy special red buttons here, which are a little bit heavier than usual, so that the weight of these is similar to the Keith style tuners that Béla Fleck uses on his Gibson style 75 banjo, that this is basically an attempt to mimic as close as possible but still be pretty affordable banjo. So instead of using the Keith tuners, which are more expensive and, well, in my opinion, a little bit more finicky, even though I really like them, they went with these Ricard tuners, which are a little bit more cost effective, but really, really, really nice tuners. And these red buttons not only add a unique aesthetic look to the banjo, but they weigh a little bit more, so that they weigh about the same as those Keith tuners, and that adds just a very subtle intricacy to the overall sound of the banjo in an improved way. So that's really cool. I'll see if I can turn this around and show you the back. Here's a look at the back of the headstock where you can see the 4 Ricard tuners. Looks very nice. And you'll also notice that there is no labeling. You can see that on the front here with the heart in where there would normally be a, you know, if this was a Gibson banjo, you'd have the Gibson logo, but in this case, a gold tone logo. We don't have that. We just have the heart in its place. And on the back, there's no labeling of any sort either. So you don't know this is gold tone. You don't know it's where it's made. You don't know any of that. Your eyes just go straight to the banjo itself, which I actually really like. So I really like that they did that. So, you know, if in 200 years or something, someone finds a banjo like this and they don't know who made it, they're not going to know unless probably they open up the banjo. There's probably a sticker inside the resonator. We'll take a look at that. But otherwise, you wouldn't know. And that's actually a good thing, I think. As we look across the neck here, you can see, I'm getting my cord in the way there, but you can see how this is designed here. The finish style is just natural wood, basically, and they didn't use any sort of, you know, lacquer finish or anything like that. It's just all kind of natural and very smooth feeling, so it's just really great, and I really like that. Go to the resonator here, and it's basically the same thing. It's just all, you know, there's no glossy finish or anything like that. It's just kind of this natural wood sort of finish going on here. So overall, really nice. I like it, and especially along the neck. It just is extremely smooth when you're playing it. You can, you know, move your hand up the neck, your fingers up the neck very quickly, up and down. It's really great. All right, so continuing to take a look at the fingerboard of this banjo. As we go up, you can see that it basically has this mostly traditional flying eagle design here, but there are some modifications to it. I'm pretty sure this is a modification here, so you can see it's got the shape of a heart inlaid in there. Then, of course, here, this is the big one that's very obvious, which I really like, is another one of these red-colored hearts here at the 12th fret. So very cool. So it keeps that traditional kind of look and feel with the flying eagle design, but just some modifications to make it something of its own. And then if you go up here where you would originally, you know, if this was a Gibson banjo, have the master tone logo here, you have Béla Fleck's signature in a white block there. So that's pretty cool. And for my specific banjo, I got spikes installed at 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm a weird person who likes to have all of the options, so I was even thinking of going all the way up to 12, but I thought, you know, that's really too much. This is probably overkill as it is. So, you know, normally folks just do 7, 9, and 10, or just 7 and 9, so I had just a few more installed here just for my taste there, but in any case, that's that. And then here's what the 5th string tuner looks like. Again, it's this interesting style where there's not like a little tuning peg sticking up here like a lot of other ones. I actually really like this. I haven't owned a banjo with this style of 5th string tuner before, but I I really like it. It works really well, and it's kind of a little bit more compact feeling, at least the way I can, from what I can tell. So it doesn't really get in the way quite as much. So very nice. And then let's see what else. We go up to the head here, and the banjo head. I'm not 100% sure if if I'm into what they installed here. It feels like sort of a light feeling head, so I might change things up. That's why I did order that black one, in case I want to change up or try something else at some point. But it's still a very nice head, just maybe not my personal preference 100%. But here's a look at the bridge, and it's got that very tall, let's see, I think it's 3/16 to 7/8 bridge, and of course that is radiused, so you got the two different heights there, but very tall bridge, and certainly does have an impact on the tone and playability of it compared to a traditional bluegrass setup. So, but otherwise, it's it's a very traditional looking banjo for the most part, except for the armrest here, which is its own unique thing. I think this is a Little Mountain armrest, if I remember right from the description, but I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, this is black instead of the very original design, which was going to be more of a red color here. But I think this looks fine, and it's very good. And the tailpiece is a Prucha, however you say that, tailpiece made in the Czech Republic. So they're a very, very good banjo company. Never had the pleasure of playing any of their banjos, but this is their tailpiece, and you can see the name right there. It actually says Presto on it, because that is the style of tailpiece that it is. But again, looking at the bridge here, it's kind of cool. It's got this kind of red tone to it, so following in that bluegrass heart sort of theme here. So, but otherwise, very traditional looking banjo, and that's kind of a look at it from the outside. And of course, no banjo review is complete without opening up the back of the banjo and taking a look inside. So here's a look at the resonator on the inside, and it's basically just a black color inside here, black painted. It does already have some a little bit of wear going on right around where the screws go in, unfortunately, but of course that's going to be invisible to the eye, so not a huge deal there. But when this did get opened up and I was playing with the screws, that I did notice that they were a little bit loose, so this might have been moving around just a little bit in shipping, which is really not unexpected. That kind of stuff happens, but in any case, just a little bit of wear going on there, but not a huge deal. But anyway, there is a look at the resonator. All right, and now we'll go to take a look at the actual inside of the banjo itself. And as you can see, it's they're very much going for the traditional Gibson master tone components inside here. I believe that the inside, the stuff that's inside here is basically the same as their Gold Tones twanger banjo, which is basically an imitation of those older Gibson master tone style banjos, but of course made to be something that's affordable for most folks who want to get something like that, rather than paying ridiculously high prices for a pre-war Gibson master tone banjo or something like that, because they're just not really affordable for a lot of people. They're many thousands of dollars. So this is kind of an imitation of that style. Inside here, if I can get a okay camera angle, you can see that it does have the no-hole tone ring in here. Then we also do have down here, like I was kind of expecting, a sticker that is somewhat similar style to the old Gibson stickers that they used to have. Of course, this says Gold Tone Bluegrass Heart Master Tone. We've got Béla Fleck's signature right there. I don't know if this is, I don't know if Béla Fleck personally hand-signed each of these stickers that they put in these banjos, or if it's just, like he signed one and they made copies of it. But it sure looks like that is a authentic, unique signature right there. It also has a serial number there as well. So it, that's a really cool thing to have inside here. It says designed by Béla Fleck, Wayne Rogers, and Mark Horowitz. So the three folks that kind of came together and designed this banjo. And good thing they did because it's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put the resonator back on here, and then I'll try to play a few notes on this. All right, finally time to play some notes on this. And unfortunately, it's a little bit out of tune, so what am I going to do about that? Well, fortunately, I did pick up the Fleck tuner, so this was an additional 20 bucks. So added that to my order, and I'll just go ahead and open that up here. Just show you what the back looks like here. There's some text you can read there if you want to. But very simple tuner here, shaped like a heart with the theme of the Bluegrass Heart album that Béla released there. So I'll go ahead and open this up and tune up the banjo. So here's what this looks like out of the box. You can see it's lit up there, and it was lighting up right when I opened it up. So I was surprised because I hadn't put the battery in it yet. So this must be a spare that they included, which is quite useful. But it's basically a standard tuner as far as I can tell, just that it has this special heart shape, which is kind of fun. All it has is a power button on the back, which you can push to change which instrument you're specifically tuning this for. So it says chromatic, guitar, bass, violin, ukulele, and then just goes back to chromatic there. So I think I'll just keep it on that chromatic mode. But yeah, basically a standard tuner. I'm guessing you hold the power button to shut it off. It appears that's the case, and then just push to turn it on again. Or maybe you have to hold it. Let's see, there it went. So I'm going to stick this on the headstock here. We'll get this thing tuned up and play some notes. And the really cool thing about this is it, if you can see it, which you maybe it's hard to see, but let's see, I gotta move the screen here so you guys can see it. Once you get to close enough tuning there, it lights up green, which is pretty useful. Alright, so we're in pretty good tuning here now. So basically what this feels like to me, which is very hard, it's very hard to describe the feeling of holding and playing a banjo unless you're actually holding it yourself, but the neck just feels really nice. It's really nice and smooth. Just the smooth finish style on the back, but then of course the specific dimensions of this, which are to Béla's specs, or at least very close anyway. So the neck itself is a little bit wider than a traditional master tone banjo neck would be. It's a little bit wider, and I think the thickness of it going from the fingerboard to the bottom is a little bit thinner. At least that's what it feels like to me. So just very slightly though. So you got wider and thinner, and of course that's for Béla's style, that's really helpful for doing the single string techniques and things. So. And of course I'm nowhere near Béla's proficiency, but I can play a few things in it. Or something like that. But it does have it just has an overall slightly different feel to playing a traditional bluegrass banjo, and part of that of course is due to the height of the bridge here. Playing right next to the bridge itself, like it, more traditional for playing like Scruggs. You can still do it and it still sounds really good, but it just feels a little bit high to me when you're playing really, really close to the bridge. But it does still give a pretty nice poppy kind of sound when you're playing up there. But my fingers kind of tend to gravitate a little bit closer to the middle, and I think that's kind of a little bit more of what Béla does too, is just, you know, plant your fingers a little bit closer to the center here, and you get more of this kind of warmer sort of tone, but it doesn't really jump out at you quite as much, but it's just a little bit more warmer, and yeah, it's hard to describe it, but it's just a little bit different, and it's really nice. So there was a not very good sampling of some notes on here from me, and of course if you had a better banjo player playing this, and also with better picks, because I just have standard Nationals and a Dunlop thumb pick here. Nothing fancy with that, but get some better picks and a better player and you'll get some really nice notes out of this, I have no doubt. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to kind of finish things off with kind of final thoughts, I guess. So this banjo is really kind of designed to be something that's an affordable copy of Béla's banjo, I guess, that, you know, people can get in their hands fairly easily. So the price of it was around $3,700. I think $3,699 is the going retail price, at least as of early 2022 here, and that's the price I paid for it. And I had, of course, a few very small customizations to it with the spikes on the 5th string here, so that costed, you know, just a little bit more, plus some of the accessories that I got, and so that added just a little bit to it, but that was basically the base price. So am I a fan of that price? I guess it's okay. It's, you know, as far as something that's affordable, it's still kind of on the higher end of being affordable, I guess. But, you know, if you're someone who's looking for that next model up banjo, say you have an intermediate banjo and you're like, I want to go and, you know, get something that's kind of this modern style setup here, but I don't want to break the bank too much. You know, this might be a good option for you. It's kind of it's similar to that twanger banjo that Gold Tone offers. It's a very good in between say a intermediate level banjo and something that's, you know, if you reach a level of playing that's pretty close to professional or professional, where you would want to have, say, a pre-war master tone banjo or a conversion banjo, say. The twanger's a good intermediate to that, and if you want something that's exactly like Béla's but not Béla's, I guess, you know, of a pre-war master tone with these kind of modern specifications, this might be a good intermediate before you can get that, because it's more affordable. Because I think Béla Fleck's style 75 master tone, if you were, you know, if someone were to buy that, it would probably be like $100,000 or something, maybe even more than that. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely way more expensive than something like this. So this is just much more affordable. So pretty cool that Gold Tone is offering this up for the general public. Really cool. Now, I guess a few final words about my experience purchasing this. It was mostly good. It was I ordered this directly from Gold Tone, and I ordered it, I think it was either September or October of 2021 when they had this available for pre-order. And so I pre-ordered it, and I made a down payment, and I made a few more payments going towards December of 2021. They were originally saying that they wanted to get these out, I think it was late 2021 or something like that. They had a few delays, and it got pushed off until January. And so I thought, okay, January, that's pretty reasonable. But I didn't actually get this shipped to me until late April. So they had some more delays. I'm not really sure. I was very persistent about emailing them. Hey, what's going on with the banjo here? It's been, you know, a long time, and I'm kind of eagerly waiting for it. So you know, they had some delays. COVID was going on, you know, so some of that's probably understandable. But anyways, it did take a long time to actually get this in my hands. Now I got this in my hands April 30th of 2022. But now that I have it, I'm very happy to have it, and it's really cool. And overall, good experience. Aside from the shipping delays from Gold Tone, they, you know, I was emailing them back and forth about different customization ideas and everything, and you know, they were very willing to do some customizations. And one thing I did ask them to do, which I'm actually glad didn't happen, is I wanted to do more of a traditional look on the headstock here with a Gold Tone logo where a Gibson logo might go, and instead of having the heart have the traditional, you know, all traditional flying eagle headstock look, and I forgot the name of it, so I had to edit that in. So, but I decided, you know, later on into this, I just want this to be straight up stock because it's something unique with the heart there and everything, and I'm really glad I did that. Just had it straight up stock, and it just looks really nice, I think. So really cool design overall. I'm very happy I did that. But Gold Tone was able, they were willing, I should say, to do some customizations to it. And another thing they did do, like I kind of showed in the first part of this video, is they shipped me an additional white colored tuning peg for the 5th string, and the reason behind that is because I would like to try putting the Keith style tuners on the back here instead of the Ricards, just because you can do all the tuner tricks, and that's kind of fun. So I might do that and have a matching white tuner for the 5th if I do decide to go that route. We'll see. So that was the review of the Banjo. I did forget to actually look inside the case here, and this is actually filled up with a bunch of stuff in here. So let's take a look at what they have included inside here. So the first thing we've got is banjo maintenance and setup information by Wayne Rogers. So inside here we've got just some information about you know, setup and maintenance and that sort of thing. I believe we also have, we've got some keys in here or tools, I should say, for adjusting the truss rod. And so we've got that. That's very good to have. And it looks like we've got a strap in here, possibly. Let's take a look at this. These might actually be for the case itself, not the Banjo. I'm not really sure, or maybe for both. We've got 2 of them. So let's see. This might actually be for kind of setting this up like a backpack for the case. I'm not really sure, but we'll take a closer look at that. And what else do we have in here? Just some of these. Let's see. What is this? This looks like a key for the case, so there must be a lock on the case somewhere, perhaps. Let's see. All right, so here it is right here. This is where you would put a key in and lock it if you wanted to do that. So that's pretty cool. It is a locking case. And just taking a second look at this case in general, it's a very nice quality case. I don't know a whole lot about it, honestly, but it's a, you know, just like the Banjo itself, it's kind of a copy of the style of case that Béla uses. I don't know if this is necessarily built for travel as far as, like, you know, tossing it into the back of an airplane or something like that. I don't know how it would fare necessarily, but it's kind of like a very hard outer plastic covering, and then it's kind of seems like it's pseudo waterproof the way that this seal goes around. So that's really cool. So, you know, if you're taking this out to a gig, or, you know, to a festival or something, and you're, you know, out jamming and it happens to rain or something, maybe you'd be okay. Obviously you don't want to leave a banjo out in the rain, even regardless of the case, but it seems like this would be pseudo waterproof anyways, at least partially. So yeah, really nice case. And then just opening up these straps a little bit more, you can tell that these are not designed to be banjo straps. These are for the case itself. So you've got, you know, basically to make it like a backpack sort of thing. And yeah, so you've got these hard connectors on each end, which are for these here. So that's very nice for travel and things like that. If you're, you know, you can kind of backpack this thing around if you're at a big festival and you have to walk a long ways, that sort of thing. Looks like you can do that pretty easily with these straps, so that's a really cool addition. All right, so that's my review of the Gold Tone Bluegrass Heart Banjo designed by Béla Fleck, Wayne Rogers, and Mark Horowitz over at Gold Tone. And I'm very happy that I picked this thing up. I think this is really cool, and I'm really glad that they decided to get together and get this thing out there. It's it's just a nice, easy way to hit the buy it now button if you're wanting a banjo that is, you know, just set up the way Béla Fleck would set it up, and you know, you're someone who wants to play in that style. So just a nice, easy way to do that, and fairly affordable, at least if you're someone who's a little bit more advanced in your banjo playing style, that you're willing to invest. You know, approaching $4,000 here. At least that's the price in 2022. So, of course, there are other options out there if you wanted something like this from, say, an American banjo maker. Of course, there's many of them out there, and you know, they might be able to give you some more customization options, especially for you. But you're going to have to pay the price for that, and it'll probably be several thousands of dollars more than this. But if that's something that you're looking for more, then you might go that route. Of course, this banjo is mostly made in China, and it's shipped over and set up here in Florida in the United States. So that's the story behind it as far as I know, and this is the banjo. So I hope you guys, I hope that some people found this video useful, and there it is. So thanks for watching.